today's video, I'm going to be reading spooky fall books to get me in that fall mood. Even though it doesn't feel like fall at all in South Texas right now, I can pretend. My mom is a very accomplished reader, and she loves to read classics, but even more, she loves it when I read classics so that she can talk about it with me. So today, per my mom's request, I'm going to be starting off with Rebecca. And I'm honestly going into this totally blind. I have no idea what it's about, and I don't think it's really considered like a spooky fall book, but because it's a classic, I feel like it gets the pass because all fall books, I feel like, are more classics. You don't read a fun summer romance in the fall, you read classics. At least that's my logic, and that's what makes sense to me, so I feel like this gets the pass anyways. So I am going to be reading this on my phone, which I don't like, but my library, I haven't managed to go to my library in a while, and I need to start reading soon because if this video is going to go up on time, I need to start reading. And also, I don't have a copy of it, and I don't think my mom does either. I will double check on that, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be reading most of these books on my phone because I will have no time to go to the library this week. So let's get started reading. Okay, so I just figured out how to pull it up on my laptop. So I'm going to be reading it from there instead, which is much better. Okay, my initial thoughts while reading Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farms is that, well, first of all, the first chapter starts off following our main character, Rebecca, as she's going to move with her aunts in, I think the town is called Riversboro. So this man is driving her from her farm, I guess, in Sunnybrook to her aunt's house in Riversboro, and she is just like a very charming personality, and we're getting to know, like, she's kind of quirky, you know, she's very bright for a child. I think she's 11 years old in the beginning of this book, and it was just kind of fun. It reminded me of Anne of Green Gables, like, you know, just it's a story about a young girl with a quirky personality, and she leaves an effect on everybody. Everybody in this book was like in love with her. She definitely is serving main character. She definitely has main character syndrome. Everybody loves her. She is that girl. So those are my initial thoughts. I think it's really charming. It's really sweet. I like it. It's kind of just like a fun read. Yeah. So I read about the first 50 pages, and I'm going to hopefully keep on my schedule to be done with this by Sunday, and then I can keep talking about it. Okay, it's Monday morning, and I woke up at 5 a.m. today just to read. I got out of bed super fast, and from like 5:15 to 6 o'clock, I just read the whole time. And I'm on, I think, about page 200 or something like that. I can't remember. I went to Starbucks and I got water. And I don't think I paid for it. I don't think they charged me as waiting. So basically, this book is just kind of like, I don't think I'm a huge fan of the books that are basically just like a summary of someone's life, but it's like, for example, this book is from age 11 to I think 17, and it just basically tells the story about Rebecca. She's on a farm. Her aunts want her to come live with her in Riversboro, but they want her sister Hannah. They don't want her. but her mom has like a ton of children and she's a single mother, and Hannah's the oldest and she can't like spare her. She needs Hannah's help. So she says, well, you can't have Hannah, but you can have my second oldest, Rebecca. So Rebecca goes, okay, and I've already kind of talked about that. That's what I was talking about my last time I was like saying really what was going on. She rides there with this man. The man becomes like one of her best friends. They have a really cute relationship. And then like it basically just tells the story of like her aunt doesn't really like her, or they don't get along well, and she keeps like messing up, and she's kind of like a troubled child, like she causes trouble for her aunts, right? And then like she meets this like rich man, and it tells of like they meet a few times over the years, and like she goes to boarding school with her friend, and then like meets up with the guy again, and they just like have like a special relationship. And I couldn't really tell like where that was going. I couldn't tell if they were gonna be lovers or if they were just like, I don't know, they had a big age gap, but I was like, well, I don't know, this is old, who knows where this is going. But I don't really know. It ended and they were just like friends, I guess. But he's like 30 and she was like 17, which is, I don't know how I feel. I don't know. But it basically just ended with like her aunt died and left her the house. It was fun and I enjoyed reading it, but like it didn't really like, I feel like I didn't gain anything from it. Like I didn't really like I don't really know what you get out of reading a story, like, because I didn't feel that personal of a connection. Like she didn't, like the storyline, it was really just kind of like a coming of age. I don't know, maybe I'm just not a fan of that kind of stuff, I guess, because like I don't know, I just feel like I didn't know Rebecca very well. And then I just like the huge time skips of her going from like a teenager to 17, like young teenager to 17, and then what's happening at that point in her life. I don't know, I just like didn't, I don't know, just didn't, that's just how I feel. Like I don't know how I feel. Like it was fine, I guess. It wasn't life-changing to read about. I don't know, that's my opinion. But the next book I'm going to read is The Naturals, which is one that I have been saying I wanted to read in my what I'm reading for this fall video. It's on my fall TBR, and that book is about the FBI recruiting teenage kids with like special abilities. They're called The Naturals. They recruit them to the FBI and they help them solve cases and stuff. And so that sounds very interesting to me, and I'm a sucker for like fantasy like that, like fantasy aspects to traditional mysteries. So that's what we're gonna read next. Okay, I can't even lie, The Naturals was so good. I read it in like 2 days. I read it so fast. I didn't even film any updates or any videos of me actually reading the book, which, I mean, who cares, you know, as long as I'm here to talk about it at the end of the day. So basically, the girl goes to the FBI, and while she's there, she discovers that someone wants to murder her. So it's basically like a mystery finding out who and why, and her mother was murdered, and so she's like, is it the same person coming back for me? Like, what's the killer's motive? It's leaves a lot of questions unanswered. So I don't ever read anything that's like dark at all, except this. I honestly, I wasn't expecting it to be that bad, because like I was like, oh, it's YA, it's Jennifer Ellen Barnes. I've read books by her before, but it actually caught me by surprise how dark this story was. I don't ever read stuff that's dark at all, because it just, I don't know, it doesn't make me feel good. I don't really like it. I'm more of like a happy book kind of person, I guess. Except for I will go for the occasional thriller or like sad book if I'm in the mood. And so there were times where I had to stop and like take a breath. I know that's probably dramatic to a lot of people. I'm sure there's much worse, but I read this in the dark in my room late at night, and so it was a little freaky, okay? I had to take a break a few times and just like breathe and tell myself, Whitney, there is not a murderer lurking in your room with a knife trying to mutilate your body. Which obviously there was not. I'm not mutilated. I'm mutil free, thankfully. But, you know, intrusive thoughts, paralyzed, as Susan says. Honestly, I don't really have much to say about this book. It was good for what mysteries are. It was fast-paced. That's what mysteries are supposed to be. They're supposed to be intense, and they're supposed to be fast-paced. They're supposed to be unputdownable. And that's exactly what this is. And if that's the criteria that I'm using to rank this, I guess I'd give it like a 4.75 stars. And that 0.25 would be like, this is nitpicky, but like if it was just like a little less dark, it was a little bit much for me. That's nitpicky, and that's definitely something like personal to me that other people would give it a 5 stars for. I tried to read the second one, but whatever app I have on my phone for some reason has the first and third and not the second, which is great. So I'll have to figure out somewhere else to get it. I have no idea where I'm going to get it because I don't want to buy it. I don't want to buy it at all, and my library doesn't have it. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. It was very entertaining, so I'm looking forward to reading the next one. It's called Killer Instinct, I believe. Yeah, so as far as spooky books go, I would say that was a pretty good one. It definitely spooked me. So 4.75 stars. I feel like that's a pretty fair rating. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I post every 2 weeks, so make sure to stay tuned. In the next 2 Sundays, I will be releasing videos. If you have any requests for books you'd like me to read, leave them in the comments. I'm also going to start doing pair requests. If you have anything, if you're going through a rough time, if you just want someone to listen to what you need to say, I'll be taking pair requests. I know sometimes it can help just to have another person knowing that you're thinking about them, so feel free to comment anything, and I will do my best to get back. I say that like I'm so popular and famous and I have so many people to respond to, but you know, all in due time, all in my busy schedule of celebrity things. See you guys in 2 weeks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Love you guys.